Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I have been wanting to do this video for a while, but the weather has been ugly and today is a beautiful sunny day. It's a little bit early, but it's time for the 1 year Cayman review.
Cue montage.
Here we go now.
That's right, I've had the car now for about 11 months last year, and so I've went through just about all the seasons, and we're just going to be finishing up winter here in a few more weeks, and I am excited to do this review, so I'm doing it a little bit early, taking advantage of the weather. Let's get started. First off, I want to tell you how I use the car. This car for me, I do have some other vehicles, but for me it is a everyday driver. That is, I drive the car as often as I can. I do drive it to and from work, and I've taken a lot of special trips with the car. I've put on approximately 6,000 miles on the car since I've purchased it. Now that's for a year that you'd think that's pretty low. I do have some other vehicles, but the main reason it's low is that I only drive about 3 miles to work. So to and from work every week is just not that many miles. But I have taken special trips. We've gone to the mountains. We've gone to the coast. We've gone pretty much all over the place we can, and temperatures are ranging from 30 degrees all the way up to 115 here in the valley. Well, since I've had the car in all the different seasons, I can talk to you about how comfortable the car is to drive. Around town, the car is great. I haven't got any backaches from the car. Down the freeway, it's nice and quiet and smooth. It gets wonderful gas mileage. During the hot summer months, leaving the car outside in 100-degree heat, turn the AC on, the car cools down really quickly. I have not had any overheating issues with the car. And in the winter, when it's 30 degrees outside, 35 degrees, I flip on the heated seats, the seats warm up quick, the car warms up quickly, performs well at all temperatures, so really no problem in any season. Ooh, let's talk about comfort. Love the comfort of this car. What is there not to love about the interior of this car? Every time I get in this car, I feel like I'm in the lap of luxury. You're surrounded by leather. It's amazingly quiet and comfortable. It's got a great stereo, comfortable for long trips. The seats are amazing, and these are even just the two-way base seats. So I can't imagine even having the other seats in this car. They'd probably be even more amazing. But these are great. I don't have any back issues or not. It's warm in the winter. It's cool in the summer. It's just a great place to be when you're driving a car. All right, guys, let's get a beautiful picture of the car here. Nice view of the car today. I've already popped the hood and the trunk. I'm going to take a look at the storage here. Let's take a look at the trunk first of all. So, like I said before, I've taken plenty of trips with the car, and the back has plenty of storage. There's enough room in here for an overnight bag, plus a couple of backpacks on the shelf up above. We've put blankets, pillows. We've loaded the car down. And then, of course, you've got plenty of storage up front also. So let's pull up the front and take a look here. I've got my little storage bag down there with a couple of things, but you can see how deep the trunk is. There's actually enough room for a person to climb in this area and actually shut the top door. So it is really deep, goes way down in there. And like I said before, the storage is just great on this car. So when you want to go to the store and put things in the car, it is not a problem. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is cost of ownership. Now, that can be different for everybody as far as the cost of the vehicle, taxes, and insurance. So what I'm going to talk about is actual everyday running costs of the car. And for me, this is pretty much how they've played out. Since having the car now for a year, I've had it in the shop, I think a total number of 3 times. Now, you might think, wow, 3 times in the year, that's a lot for putting a car in the shop. Well, but actually only one of these has been with an issue, and it was with a vacuum fuel pump and it was a recall. Other than that, I had an oil change done and I had new tires put on the car. So the car has actually only been in the shop once for a recall item, and even at that point it wasn't causing any problem with the car. They just installed the new vacuum pump, and I never noticed any change, but it was an actual Porsche recall. So ownership costs on the vehicle were essentially an oil change, which ran about $250, and a new set of tires, which ran about $1,200. Now this car itself has the 20-inch rims on it, so tires are pretty expensive for the car. It originally had the Pirellis on it, but the Pirellis weren't cutting it for me. I daily the car, and I also autocross the car, and at the autocross the car was just really sliding a lot, and so I swapped the tires out and put on Michelin Super Sports. A complete world of difference. The tires themselves run much quieter on the road, and they stick like glue when it comes to the autocross, so I really recommend those tires. So our total is a oil change, which was about $250, and tires, which run about $1,200. So our total for a year was $1,450. Now, of course, you're not going to buy tires every year, but you are going to do an oil change. This car requires an oil change every 10,000 miles or 1 year of ownership. So I'm not going to do the mileage on the car because I work so, I live so close to work. So I'm going to do the oil change once a year. And that's my total cost on the vehicle so far. So as I mentioned earlier, I've had the car out in all the different seasons, so I want to talk about drivability next. So let's talk about the current season. Well, we're in the winter season, believe it or not, even though it's bright and sunny outside. But during the winter time, the car actually performs very well. I've had it out in very hard rain, very cold, frosty mornings, foggy mornings, and the car just never misses a lick, and it's always been great. Like I said, the heat works great. The heated seats, definitely a recommended option. And I don't know what I did without those before when I had a car that didn't have heated seats. Those are great. So the car performs great in the winter. During the summer here in the valley, it's gotten approximately, I think it's gotten up to 110, 115 degrees. And man, that's hot, and the car just does a wonderful job. It never overheated. I've been out autocrossing on the asphalt in 100 plus degree weather. The temperature is solid, no issues. Race after race, no big deal. The AC works wonderful, and I got to give a little plus to the little shout out to the auto climate control. I've got the automatic climate control. That's probably been the best climate control I've ever had in any car. Set it, forget it. Put the temperature on what you need. The car automatically evens it out. It's great. And of course, it's got dual controls for both zones, but so my wife, when she's with me, she can cool it or heat it as she needs, but it's really wonderful and works really well. My favorite place to take the car, probably the mountains. The drivability of this car in the mountain is just amazing. I've went on a lot of PCA tours. Those are tours with our local Porsche club. I've taken drives with my friends up to the mountains. I just did one just a week or so ago. The car just behaves and handles so well in the mountains. If you're a driver, you want this car. This is a driver's car. The feedback is amazing. The handling is amazing. It's a superstar. And so the handling of this car and the drivability of this car is probably one of my favorite things that I love about this car. Let's talk about some of the other things I like about this car. Now, I come from a history of driving manual transmissions for 30 plus years. And I had another Porsche before this, which had a PDK. It was the first time they offered the PDK, and it was an amazing transmission. So when I got the new car, I was looking for either manual or PDK. I like them both. This car happened to have PDK, and it's just an amazing transmission. Now, a lot of people out there give you a hard time for driving an automatic, and this is a dual clutch, but the car is wonderful. Now, you do lose a little bit of interaction with the car, and I understand that, and I do miss that at times. But if you're going to get an automatic transmission, a dual clutch transmission, the PDK is definitely the way to go, and I don't regret that decision at all. It's a great transmission, a fun to drive it in manual mode and automatic. One of my other favorite things about this particular car has the composite brake option. Well, some people call these ceramics. Porsche, they call them the carbon composites, and that upgrade on this car is, it's so nice. The brakes do not make a bit of noise. The car stops on a dime, and the plus, your wheels will still look this clean after a couple weeks of driving. Absolutely no brake dust whatsoever. Next up, I love the wing on the back of this car. The wing is integrated into the back lip of the car, and when you're driving around normally, if you don't have it in manual mode, the spoiler is down, you can't even see it. When you reach freeway speeds, approximately I think 75, 76 miles per hour, it's deployed automatically, and then it goes back down after you slow down to 55 or 50 miles per hour. Otherwise, you can override it, and which it is right now, it's overridden, and I have it up in the up mode. I love the spoiler. I think that's just a really cool feature on this car, especially how it goes up and down automatically. Pretty neat. Next up, oh, the exhaust. This car has the sports exhaust option, and there really isn't anything to say about this except All right, so let's sum things up. First of all, this car is a driver's car, and it's an amazing driver's car. The car feels wonderful behind the wheel. The car feels wonderful to your ears when you drive it. The car gives you feedback in spades. So if you're a driver, you're gonna love this car. Second of all, versatility. This car does everything. It's quiet down the freeway. It's loud when you want it to be. It's as docile as a lamb, or it can be as racy as a cheetah. Now, that sounds stupid, but the car really is amazing. And then of course, you can't go wrong with the extras. Comfort, German reliability, amazing gas mileage, and the maintenance costs on this car. Daily running costs have been really nil to none. Sure, I've done tires and an oil change, but you're gonna have to put tires and oil changes on other cars too. So the car has been just dead reliable. And I haven't taken it easy on this car. I've driven this car, well, really fast. I've driven this car really hard at autocrosses. And I've driven this car around town, stop and go traffic, in 100+ degree heat and in 30 degree cold. So this car I've been giving it everything I can dish out at it, and it's taken it just extremely well. So for a long time, I've tried to think about things that I don't like about this car, and it's just difficult coming up with anything I don't like about it. I think the only thing that pops up in my head maybe sometimes is that it's only a 2-passenger vehicle. But if you want to carry more than 2 passengers, go get yourself a Panamera or an SUV. This car falls in the mid-engine sports car category. So usually with that category, you're only going to get 2 passengers. So that works for me. And if you're looking for that, it'll work for you too. So what are my plans and where do I go from here? Well, I keep driving the car. I'm going to keep using it every day. I don't have any plans on getting rid of it. I'm going to keep taking trips with it, do some more amazing things with it. Hopefully maybe making a few modifications down the road, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do too many because it really doesn't need a lot. Really, I'm just going to keep enjoying the car on a day-to-day basis. Drive it, enjoy it. If you have a car out there, a sports car out there, I beg you to get out there and drive it every day. Don't lock it up in the garage just because it's raining, just because it's hot, just because it's cold outside, unless it's snowing. That can be difficult. But get out there and drive the car and enjoy it for what it should be used for. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I'm gonna go take another drive. It is my day off, so I'm gonna go take another drive right now and enjoy my car. And I will see you guys next time on the Cayman Files. Later.